What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this 2022 Nissan Altima. Big shout out and thank you to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this new Altima for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website linked down below. And the model that we're looking at today is the 2.0 SR VC Turbo, finished off in silver with an MSRP at $33,000. Underneath the hood of this brand new Nissan Altima, you're going to find a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 236 horsepower with 267 pound-feet of torque and is paired to a continuous variable transmission. It sends all the power to the front wheels, and with a curb weight a little over 3,300 pounds and running on a 16.2 gallon fuel tank, you can expect 25 miles per gallon in the city with 34 out on the highway. The overall length is 192.9 inches with wheelbase at 111.2. Height comes in at 56.8 and width is 72.9 inches. And then now moving to the styling with this 2022 Nissan Altima Turbo. It has a very sharp design all around, especially in the silver color. You can see the projector beam headlights with a little bit of black as well as some chrome trim in them. And then the center grille has a lot of gloss black as well as some chrome. You can see the gloss splash mesh right in the center with the Nissan logo. Then more openings in the lower side to allow cooling to the intercooler as well as the radiators. We have sharp lines on the farthest sides of the bumper along with turn signals and then a little bit of trim. The front end really does come together nicely, and I love the sharp lines in the top portion of the bumper that fade their way into the hood. So you can see the lines in the hood fading away towards the windshield, and a really good overall design. As we come to the side profile, has a very nice proportion. Then we get a multi-spoke design for these wheels, finished off in a two-tone color. They are 19 inches in diameter, and you can see a sharp line around the front wheel arch and a really sharp line going underneath the windows all the way to the back. You can see another sharp line in the lower portion of these doors, and then body color door handles along with gloss black mirror caps with an integrated turn signal on the bottom side. You can see black trim around the windows, then a sunroof up top with a shark fin antenna. I really like the chrome trim underneath the windows, and it's neat how it fades its way into the C-pillar with this black piece of trim. Kind of makes the roof look like it's floating, and you can see a really sharp line above the rear fender arch to add some aggression. That black trim blends its way into the rear glass, and you can see just how sharp everything comes together. We get the taillights finished off with red housings, SR logo on the right side with an integrated lip spoiler into the trunk, then your Nissan logo in the center with Altima on the left. Backup camera right in the center, a little bit of chrome trim on the top portion of this bumper, then all of your parking sensors, some trim down below, and then a sporty rear diffuser finished off in metallic gray with dual exhaust, and then more sharp lines finishing up the rear bumper. So there's a good look at the exterior with this 2022 Nissan Altima. Pretty sporty looking, especially in the silver with all of the black accents. Then we have Nissan's key fob, which is pretty familiar. We do get remote start on the car, and then if we go ahead and lock it with the key, I can just grab the door handle and then press the button. It'll unlock it and we can check out this interior. This Altima gets a two-tone interior finished off with black leather along with fabric. You're also going to see orange stitching and then a carbon fiber look design. We get a black door panel with this carbon fiber look design trim up on top along with the release handle, the smooth black leather along the side with some padding for your armrest and the contrast orange stitching. You get a grab handle along with your window controls, lock and unlock and mirror controls, and then a little bit of storage down below. We get power controls on the left side of the driver's seat, and you can see the smooth leather with the orange as well as black stitching. Really cool the way they've designed this. I like this fabric in the center with the orange stripe. Really nice looking all the way up the backs with more stitching, and then even more on the headrests. Then flipping around, we get a flat bottom design for this leather wrapped steering wheel, and then more stitching. And then now inside the Altima, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You can see we have our tachometer over on the left side with your speedometer and fuel to the right. Then this has an LCD screen right in the center. You can control that using the panel on the left side of the steering wheel. So if we go ahead and take a look at everything right now, we have our digital speed readout. I can scroll down and see a few more items that pop up in this menu. Then you can go left and right, see some things for your economy. You can also continue over for trip information and scroll up and down through this and see all sorts of different things. Turbo boost gauge, which is pretty sweet. We also have audio information. All the safety settings come up as well. And then we have settings that you can go into and monitor all sorts of things and adjust different parameters within this car. We have the Nissan logo in the center with some controls on the right for all the cruise control, as well as some Bluetooth and audio. We have a few more audio controls on the left, and a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They have a pretty good look and feel to them as well. We have our turn signal stock on the left side, and we have the control on the right for all the wiper blades. And then to the left of the steering wheel, we have the trip reset, interior lighting, as well as the trunk release. One of the air vents, along with some more of that stitching going across the dashboard. And then you can see even more of it on the far right side. Really sporty design. I like the silver trim you see throughout the center portion of the dash. And then we get the 7-inch screen right in the center for all the infotainment. You can go on the left side and tap your phone. You can see all that information coming up, audio information as well, different connections for phone integration. Then we can go back. We have an information icon with just a few settings, and then some settings right here that you can adjust some of the parameters. You can also tap the camera and adjust a few of those. Then if I go ahead and put the car into reverse, the backup camera pops up. It's decently HD. We have some nice guidelines. Parking sensors pop up in the center. Then I can just put us back into park. Underneath the screen, we do get some shortcuts for your menu. You can just tap this for the main screen, then similar buttons down below with your track, volume on the left, tuning on the right, air vents and hazards, and then physical climate controls down below. Fan speed is on this left on a nice dial. Then we get our temperature icon, all the different zones, defrost, heated seats, and then a little bit of storage space down below. You have a good spot here, a 12 volt, as well as some USBs and auxiliaries. Then you can see all the stitching in the center with more of the silver trim, along with some storage and 2 cup holders, and then more of that carbon fiber look design around the cup holders. You can see the stitching along this armrest with the smooth leather. And then opening that up, we have a pretty good amount of storage space in here, as you would expect. And the glove box, pretty good sized bucket in here. And then one last look at the interior. I think Nissan did a pretty nice job. Everything is very simple in here, and this trim level especially, it looks very sporty. I definitely like the contrast of everything. And then we also get a sunroof. You can see it opened up right now. We have all the controls right here with dome lights, and then even a sunglass holder up in front. And then moving to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the door panel is finished off very similar to the front. Then the back seats even have the same two-tone with the fabric and leather. This can seat 3 people as well. And then the middle seat, you can even grab this spot, pull it down, and we get a nice armrest as well as 2 cup holders. And then we even get 2 USB ports right down below and a little bit of storage on the passenger seat. All right, so sitting now in the back seat of this Nissan Altima. So this is kind of a mid-size sedan. You're pretty right in the middle, typical sizing here. I'm 5'11", and honestly, I have about an inch of headroom, so not too bad. And with the driver's seat even set at my height, I still get plenty of knee room and foot room. The seats don't recline or anything back here, but it's at a pretty good angle to where you can actually be back here for a decent road trip. And you have a really large window. That is really nice, especially how this is a super small piece, so you just have a lot of glass. Pretty good view over the right side. And then of course the center console area is nice to have. We get dome lights up top and then even grab handles. Moving on to the trunk space, you have a button on the key fob, the one on the interior, or you can just grab the one on the actual trunk itself. Lifts open. This has a pretty large trunk in here. Even for being more of a mid-size, you can see just how much space we have. We have some dealer items in here right now with all the cargo nets and things like that. But we also get manual pulls that you can just grab and it'll unlock the rear seats. And you can see how much more storage space you're gonna get in the Altima with them folded down. If we go through the door now, they fold nearly flat as you can see, and the opening into the trunk is a pretty good size for larger items, and it still leaves you with plenty of room up in front of these seats. So now setting off in this Nissan Altima, so getting my bearings with it, first and foremost, just getting up to speed. That turbo is impressive. I wasn't expecting this to be a turbo model. That is really nice to see that kind of power. But getting comfortable in it, you get all the power controls and quite a lot of adjustments, same with the steering wheel, to really get us in a comfortable position. Pretty good view around the front and everything. You know, armrests in a great place. These seats have a lot of padding, and you get the lumbar support and everything. Pretty comfortable under my first initial impressions. Looking over my shoulders, really large rear window, so visibility is fantastic in it. So overall ride quality, as we're just cruising in normal drive, it is crazy that we do get the paddle shifters. I think you just kind of tap them, it looks. And it gives you a fake gear. Obviously it's a CVT, so there's no actual gears in the transmission. But it genuinely feels like there are gears with this transmission. That's really impressive. This might be one of the only CVTs I actually like. So we're gonna keep it in the manual mode, just kind of feel it out, do another acceleration. Give it some gas. Wow. That was up to 50 miles an hour, and the shifting, well, it's not really shifting. The gears they've designed in this, the cone shapes for the CVT, that was really smooth and quick. That was pretty cool. Do another acceleration. I'm impressed with that. So we're in what they would call fourth gear. Let's go to third gear. You get a lot of power in this. And then, let's see, getting back into drive now. Just normal driving again, getting up to some speed. It's a very effortless, you can actually feel like there's gear changes. Very interesting. That is the most interesting CVT ever. Even in drive, it actually has gear changes, which is crazy. But it drives really good, really smooth. We're on kind of a bumpy road right now. It's pretty quiet as well, going 45 miles per hour. Hitting the brakes and do a pretty good job slowing down. And then the use of materials, it feels like a pretty nicely put together car. It's not crazy expensive, 33 grand for pretty much a fully loaded car. The leather feels nice. Well, most of it's probably vinyl. It feels really nice and premium, simple in here to use, nothing too crazy. And you've got the blind spot alert, things like that, all the safety settings that you're gonna want. Let's do a bit of a 3-point turn. The backup camera, a little outdated with the graphics. They could be quite a bit better, but nonetheless, at least you have it along with the sensor. So overall ride quality, as we're just cruising in normal drive, it is crazy that we do get the paddle shifters. I think you just kind of tap them, it looks, and it gives you a fake gear. Obviously it's a CVT, so there's no actual gears in the transmission, but it genuinely feels like there are gears with this transmission. That's really impressive. This might be one of the only CVTs I actually like. So we're gonna keep it in the manual mode, just kind of feel it out, do another acceleration. Giving it some gas. Wow. That was up to 50 miles an hour, and the shifting, well, it's not really shifting. The gears they've designed in this, the cone shapes for the CVT, that was really smooth and quick. That was pretty cool. Do another acceleration. I'm impressed with that. So we're in what they would call fourth gear. Let's go to third gear. You get a lot of power in this. And then, let's see, getting back into drive now. Just normal driving again, getting up to some speed. It's a very effortless, you can actually feel like there's gear changes. Very interesting. That is the most interesting CVT ever. Even in drive, it actually has gear changes, which is crazy. But it drives really good, really smooth. We're on kind of a bumpy road right now. It's pretty quiet as well, going 45 miles per hour. Hitting the brakes and do a pretty good job slowing down. And then the use of materials, it feels like a pretty nicely put together car. It's not crazy expensive, 33 grand for pretty much a fully loaded car. The leather feels nice. Well, most of it's probably vinyl. It feels really nice and premium, simple in here to use, nothing too crazy. And you've got the blind spot alert, things like that, all the safety settings that you're gonna want. Let's do a bit of a 3-point turn. The backup camera, a little outdated with the graphics. They could be quite a bit better, but nonetheless, at least you have it along with the sensors. And then continuing the turn, decent turning radius. We're on a pretty small road, but nonetheless, we have everything we need to do that. So in drive, watch the tachometer if you can see it. Kind of use like maybe 3 gears the way it's kind of designed. Well, yeah, back getting our bearings now. Point of view, as you can see, nice view out and everything. I like the flat bottom design of the steering wheel too. It kind of gives you that sporty touch, and especially with all the orange accents, so it stands out, it makes this feel a little bit more special, a little bit more fun. And for the price point, I think you just get a lot to offer. I think Nissan's really been kicking it up with their latest generation vehicles. And this Altima is your typical sedan. This is a very hot selling car. Obviously, this class is very popular. And it seems like you do get a lot for the money. Just a nice normal car. There are some sportier trims or even cheaper trims if you're not into all the luxuries. And of course, I think there's some nicer trims if you want, different materials, more technology and things like that. But just getting a nice little turn. Turning radius is pretty sharp as well. Wow. That really does turn pretty nicely. And then for manual, we just tap the paddle and we are into the manual mode. So then one last acceleration now. It actually has a punch. That is really, really cool. But yeah, I think that is about it then. Gonna wrap up the Nissan Altima. Seems like a pretty good option. You just get a nice car. Really, at the end of the day, just a nice car for good money. And you get plenty of performance and power with this turbo engine and very efficient and good sizing inside now. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for plenty more content. And then once again, big shout out and thank you to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their inventory linked down below. So that is it, guys. I will see you in the next video.